The 2 minor chord is so awesome, and today I'm going to tell you why. Today I'm going to talk about the 2 minor chord. Yeah, today I'm going to show you how cool it is. Hey, I'm Jonathan Byrd, here to give you the information, the inspiration, and the motivation to write your own songs. And I'm doing a series of videos on music theory, nothing too academic, just things that inspired me to write my own songs. And in each video, I'm going to show you things on the keyboard because it's so easy to look at. Every note has one place, unlike the guitar, which is very nonlinear, but they each have their own way of helping you to visualize and internalize and implement these ideas. So I'm going to show you how this works on the guitar as well. What is the 2 minor chord? The 2 minor chord is that chord at the beginning of the chorus that gives this song an understated sophistication. That could easily be 4-5-1. It could be I just called to say I love you. That works just as well. In fact, I thought it was that until I actually learned the song, and I was like, no, I just called. It's a little darker, it's a different color, but it doesn't call attention to itself. We haven't changed modes. We've only changed chords and stayed in the same key. Now, the 2 minor chord does not change modes. If we look at the key of C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. C major scale, no flats or sharps. If you're playing a C major chord, C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, and 5. That's our major chord. Right? If you just move every note of that up one step in the scale, you have the 2 minor chord. You haven't changed keys, you haven't changed modes, you've just changed chords inside that. But it's a chord that not a lot of people use in popular music these days. I'm not sure why. Oftentimes, it's a great stand-in for the 4 chord, as I showed you in that Dylan song or in that Stevie Wonder song. It kind of sounds like it could be the F would work just as well in that place, but instead of the F, we have this little darker tone because it is a minor chord that is kind of sneaking in there, understated. And I have used the 2 minor chord when I wanted some movement in a place that didn't seem like it wanted a big chord change. It wanted kind of a subtle chord change. I just wanted something that changed, but not too much. So I used the 2 minor going to the 4 major chord, and they share 2 notes. F and A in the key of C could be part of an F major chord, or they could be part of a D minor chord. Either one. So before I show you how this works on the guitar, I just want to mention that I'm doing a new thing every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I write a song with whoever shows up to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Jonathan Byrd Music. If you're not familiar with Twitch, it's a great community-oriented streaming platform. So people show up to my channel Sunday evenings, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and they write a song with me. You got to show up and see how it works. Open source songwriting every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, twitch.tv/Jonathan Byrd Music. So on the guitar, I was playing that Dylan song, I might play it in G, right? Any day now. And that A minor is the 2. I shall be released. So the key of G is a great key to use the 2 minor chord in because it's still an open chord. In the key of C also, of course. If you're in the key of C, the 2 minor is the D minor, which also works in that key. If you're in the key of D, then that E minor is your 2 minor chord. So the key of D works really well with this chord change as well. So wherever you capo, these shapes that you use, the shapes of G and C and D are great shapes if you're going to play a song with the 2 minor chord in it. So this song that I use this 2 minor chord in, where I just wanted to change, but I want it to be subtle, it's called The Cold and Hungry Night. And the verse of it goes like this. He came screaming out of the suburbs in his dark and desperate flight from the land of satisfaction into the cold and hungry night. Did you hear it? Into the cold and hungry night. It's a very subtle change. I wanted something to change there, but I didn't want it to be big. The cold and hungry night, that would have been too much. The cold and hungry, that doesn't even work. But that change from the D minor to the F gave me some movement in the music that wasn't too much. It didn't overwhelm the lyric. It didn't distract from the lyric. Another song where I use the 2 minor is called Galveston. In this song, Galveston, I sort of reverse the order of verse, chorus, and I go chorus, verse, chorus, verse. So I go, you know everything God knows. Galveston. The pearl of the sky. The bear on your feet. The sand in your sheets. And the sun on your skin. So again, I use that D minor before an F, or at least the shape. I'm actually in the key of E flat because I've got the capo on. But I go, the blah, 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 blah. And it's a change, but it's not too much of a change. It's not a crazy chord change. It doesn't distract you from what I'm singing. Blah, 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 blah. So D minor to the F to the C shape. So the 2 minor can be a change that moves the music, but it's not too distracting. It doesn't call attention to itself. It's not a key change. It's not a mode change. It's just a chord change. 2 minor chord. You don't hear it enough in popular songwriting now. How can you use the 2 minor chord? Another exciting thing I'm doing right now is song coaching. So you can meet with me one-on-one. If you want to explore these ideas, or you've never written a song, you don't know how to get started, you're stuck on a song, you don't know how to move forward, you're writing for an album, you've got 7 songs, you need 10, it's driving you crazy, meet with me one-on-one on Zoom, and I will help you sort it out. I will apply my 20 plus years of experience to the problem, and I would love to help you. You can book yourself. Just go to jonathanbyrd.com and click on Song Coaching. Pick how much time you want to spend. You can subscribe and do an appointment every month. You can buy gift certificates for a songwriter you love, anything. jonathanbyrd.com, Song Coaching. Just click on that. I was doing this thing panning for gold, these exercises at the end of the video, but then it was kind of a meme that got stuck in nowhere land where nobody knew what it meant. So I'm going to call it skill building from now on. Let's call it skill building. I'm giving you 3 different levels of skill building and ways to use the 2 minor chord. So again, just to refresh, in the key of C, no flats or sharps, we have a C major chord, and that D minor chord is the 2 minor. So skill building number 1 is just to use the 2 minor chord in some way. And also, if you're in the minor chord, the relative minor of C is A minor, then D minor is just your 4 chord in the key of A minor. That's one way to use it. Another way to use it is to start on the 2 minor chord. This is skill building number 2. Level 2 here is to start on the D minor. And then change somehow that implies that you are in the key of C. Isn't that cool? So you start in D minor, you get everybody convinced that you're in the key of D minor. And you land on that C. Isn't that an interesting trip? There's a couple different ways you could do it. You could go from the D minor to the F, and then back to the C, or you could crawl up through the D minor, the E minor, the F, to the G, and back to the C. Various ways you can do it, but start on the D minor as a 2 minor chord. It's a kind of a secret 2 minor chord, and then get us back to home base. Skill building level 3. If you want to take the D minor chord at the 2 minor in any key and use it in a song with a 2 major. You know what it reminds me of? Da 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 da. I don't know if that's actually the chord change in that song, Don't Know Why by Norah Jones. Or you could use it in a different part of the song. You use the 2 major in one part and the 2 minor in another part. Maybe verses with the 2 minor, and then when you get to the chorus, you use the 2 major to provide that big lift. I don't know, it's up to you. Skill building level 3, use the 2 minor and the 2 major, which is a D major. We raised the third of that chord. Now it's a major chord. Use the D minor and the D major in the same song. Let me know what you come up with in the comments, questions in the comments, anything in the comments. Every time you comment, every time you like this video, which I know you're going to do, every time you subscribe to my channel, which I know you're going to do, every time you click that bell for notification, it helps other learners to find my channel where they can learn about songwriting and get the information, the inspiration, and the motivation that they need to write their own songs. And don't forget to write.